leave it out.
If she's perked up, why doesn't she come down?
She's tired.
So she collapsed. It were exhaustion.
No.
Why the shroud of mystery? From what I read, mental infirmity is the new black.
Blanche, it was just a panic attack, not a full-blown nervous breakdown, all right?
Something must have triggered it.
Right. I'm taking this up to Mum.
Plate of humble pie.
What?
Name me an occasion when you ever waited on your mother from your own choice.
Well, you can sort that there like Paris Hilton.
Tracy.
Well, I'm not being called a freeloader in my own house.
Oh, strictly speaking, it's a finance company's house. Thanks to you and Dick Turpin, barrister of this parish.
Oh, what, your inheritance diddums?
Oh, yeah, like I'm burning with resentment.
Oh, for heaven's sake, shut up the lot of it before I bang your heads together.
I'll take this up before it goes cold, eh? I know he didn't hit me, but he did mess with my head. If he hadn't done that, do you really think that I would have killed him?
Save your crocodile tears for the judge. Your twisted little attempts at manipulation might have worked on your mother, but they certainly don't work on me.
You hated him.
I hated lots of people. Doesn't mean I wanted to kill them.
Oh, Dad, I am so sorry that I lied to you. And I'm sorry that I told my mum the truth last night, if that implicates you, but it doesn't have to. And I am so sorry that he tortured me up here, because if he hadn't done that, well, then I would never have done something so out of order.
Out of order? Out of order? Don't cheapen this with some pathetic little use of the vernacular. What you did beggars description.
And implicating David.
Oh, so now you do want to talk about that?
Well, just forget about him. The bottom line is, Mum, do you want me to go down?
No, Tracy. The bottom line is, do you deserve to?
I'm bringing a Jean Plaidy. 'Cause the first few days can be quite dull at a trial. And I'd get rid of some of that slap love. You want to look all naive and innocent. Not like you're working the windows in Amsterdam.
May I leave the table?
Well, you know Tracy Blanche. She'll probably slap more on. Has more drama when she's sobbing for the judge. Streams of mascara running down her face.
Ken.
I haven't got time for this.
So what are you hiding from me this time? May as well tell me. I'll find out sooner or later.
You all right?
Never better.
Nothing.
Interesting get-up for a trial.
Entering into a discussion about this, Peter. I'm staying here to support Deirdre. I mean, imagine what she's going through.
Did I say anything?
Well, she can't sit in the court. She's a witness.
Well, she could sit outside.
Right, might be a bit of a tight squeeze, but we'll manage if you just want a nip in the front there, Blanche.
Oh, nip. That's hopeful.
Good luck, Tracy.
Thank you.
See, everybody's behind you, love.
Told you.
Do you know who's going on the stand first?
Not yet, no.
What's she doing here? Oh, you don't know what you're getting into there.
Yeah, I don't think I'll take any relationship advice from you if you don't mind, lovely.
If she had another brain cell, it would be lonely.
Since when did men go for intelligence over looks, Tracy?
Yeah, it's not like you're reading proofs when you're stoking the fireplace, is it, Tracy? If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Emily, hiya. Oh, it's so sweet of you to come.
I couldn't not, really.
Well, no, but thank you, I really mean it. Hiya.
Hi.
Tracy?
Mr. Sinclair.
And we're family and friends. Like the X Factor, only without the banners.
Is your dad not here?
No, he wanted to stay with Mum. She's not handling it very well, as you can imagine.
Hi.
Yeah, it's the same as you asked for.
1, 2, the third one, I'll bandage. Okay.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
I didn't know you were Catholic, Blanche.
Oh, I'm not. But anything's worth a try. I'm scared, Emily. We all know she only did it 'cause she were in danger. But what if they don't see it like that? People in wigs twist things. Ask Danny LaRue.
We'll keep saying our prayers.
Court rise!
Maybe times when a terrified woman, believing herself to be in immediate danger and having no avenue of escape, is perfectly justified in fighting off her attacker in any way she can. There may be times when a desperate woman, as a last resort, will strike out in self-defense. And if that blow is a fatal one, well, you might think her attacker had it coming. He deserved everything he got. There are times like that. The law knows it. You know it. Tracy Barlow knows it. But we submit that this wasn't one of those times. Tracy Barlow was not in immediate danger. She was not fighting off a knife-wielding attacker. This was not an act of self-defense. And her cynical attempt to paint it as such is a gross insult to the many women who live in genuine fear of violent partners. Now, with your ladyship's leave, I will call the first witness for the prosecution, Mr. Jason Grimshaw.
Jason Grimshaw, please.
Having an affair with Maria Sutherland, a girl who lives on our street, and, well, Tracy found out.
And what happened then?
She left him, went back to her mum's.
And what was his reaction to that?
It's one of those things, fair cop.
That's all. It's one of those things.
Well, his pride was hurt, I suppose, and he was glad when she went back to him, at first.
And what did you think about her sudden return to him?
I was surprised.
Why?
Because she never seemed the type to forgive and forget. Not that she had forgiven him. Charlie reckoned she was always trying to get her own back.
By doing what, exactly?
By playing games all the time, causing arguments for no reason. She was locking herself in the bedroom and blaming him. Weird things. He was fed up by the end, kept saying he was going to throw her out.
So, as far as Charlie was concerned, he was fed up with Miss Barlow, and his relationship with her was all but over.
Yes.
Was he ever violent towards you?
No.
Did he ever threaten violence towards you?
No, never.
Was there ever a time when you felt in any physical danger?
Well, not from him, no.
Not from him?
Well, obviously, when I eventually told Tracy, there was a bit of danger then.
From Mr. Stubbs?
No, more from Tracy.
Why more from Tracy?
Well, she attacked me in the street.
Physically attacked you?
Yeah, but... Well, the thing is, you can't really blame her, can you? I mean, you find out your fella's been having an affair with your hairdresser. You're gonna be angry, aren't you?
Very angry. Yes.
Mr. Stubbs was never violent towards you?
No.
Did you ever see him get violent with anyone else?
Yeah, I did.
Would you like to tell us about it?
I caught him trying to drown a neighbour, David Platt, once, in the bath.
And how old was David at the time?
He was 15.
Now we're getting somewhere.
He was holding him underneath the water. I don't think he'd have actually done it, but... well, that's what he was threatening to do.
So Mr. Stubbs was a man quite capable of being violent, even to a 15-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Three minutes, maybe 4.
So you were banging on the door for 3 or 4 minutes before Tracy eventually answered it?
Yeah.
Could you hear anything coming from inside the house at that time?
No.
No music?
No, we couldn't hear anything.
It was quiet when you got there?
It was, yeah.
My lady, we will hear from the next witness that there were no traces of the accused's blood found anywhere on the murder weapon, which suggests that her hand was cut after the weapon had been wielded.
So she must have used her other hand. It's not rocket science.
She used her other hand.
Thank you.
He'd better start earning his corn now.
You'd have us believe that a man who'd sustained 2 such heavy blows to the head would not retain a grip on his knife.
The likelihood is he'd have dropped it as he lost consciousness.
It is a medical impossibility that he could have kept hold of it as he fell. Is that what you're saying?
It's unlikely.
But not impossible?
No.
Tracy Barlow had no other injuries except the cuts to her left hand, correct?
Yes.
Her right hand was not injured in any way?
No.
So if she'd raised the ornament with her right hand and her right hand only, would there be any traces of her blood on it?
Obviously not, but it's very...
How did it go? Swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, but her barrister was good, though, eh?
It should be.
You'd know you were getting your money's worth if you'd been there.
There was all that stuff, you know, about angles of impact and what position he was in when she hit him, all that.
Can you believe they tried to make him out to be some kind of sitting duck?
They had this so-called expert. Said he must have been sat down at the time.
Yeah, because of the blood splatter on the armchair.
Yeah, well, I've had about enough of this for one day, so I'm going to go and get Amy.
To be honest, when this expert got going, I was a bit worried at first.
But then our man made mincemeat of him.
Oh, what? He tore him to shreds.
Isn't it possible, he said. Isn't it possible she hit him while he was stood up and then he fell back into the chair?
In the end, he had to admit it was.
She hasn't got the stomach for all the gory details.
I want to take you through the sequence of events after Mr. Stubbs discovered that you were planning to leave him.
I should never have packed that bag.
But you did pack a bag. You were planning to leave, Mr. Stubbs?
Well, he'd beaten my brother up. I didn't want to go. But, well, he had this, like a dark side. But most of the time, ask anybody, most of the time he was a really nice bloke, but... well, when you've got a 2-year-old...
So to use your words, he had a dark side.
I could have handled him better. Packing that bag, it was like a red rag to a bull. I hurt his pride.
And what happened as a result of you packing your bag?
Well, he threatened me. He said that if he couldn't have me, then nobody would.
Were you afraid for your safety?
I was.
Had Mr. Stubbs given you cause to fear for your safety in the past?
But not like that. I'd pushed him too far. I should have tried to calm the situation.
He burned your arm in December last year, is that correct?
Yeah.
How did it happen?
Well, he didn't mean to hurt me.
But he did burn your arm with an iron.
Look, he's the one that's dead, not me. I can't bear this picture you're trying to paint of him. I'm to blame for all of this. I just wasn't a good enough girlfriend.
Going back to the night of the 12th of January, what happened immediately after Mr. Stubbs threatened you?
He went into the kitchen.
And?
And he had a knife in his hand.
And what happened then?
Look, I've said all of this in my statement. Why do I have to keep going over it?
For the benefit of the jury, Miss Barlow.
Well, I begged him to put the knife down, but he just slashed at me.
Did he actually cut you? Where, exactly?
What was on my hand, on the front and the back.
So he had drawn blood twice at this point?
I just kept thinking, this isn't him. This isn't my Charlie. And I was yelling, please, Charlie. Please stop, don't kill me. I could hear Amy crying upstairs.
Take your time, Miss Barlow.
I just grabbed the nearest thing to hand.
Go on.
Well, I closed my eyes and I took a swipe at him. I just thought that if I could catch his arm, I'd throw him off balance. I could hear Amy crying louder upstairs and I wasn't aiming for his head.
A mouse as dry as desert bones.
There's no point starving.
Yeah, my belly was grumbling in that court yesterday.
Sorry, why don't you try saying that again when you've swallowed? Like that. I feel like it's yeah.
Right. You fit?
As we'll ever be.
Ready, Mum? Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine.
Good. Because I need you today. I really need you.
I know you do.
Not often a grown-up girl can say that to her mother and really mean it, eh?
Right, listen. So you were convinced Miss Barlow was in imminent danger?
Defo, yeah.
And what was Mr. Stubbs doing before Miss Barlow struck him?
Well, we're gonna kill her. She'd be dead meat now. It'd be him stood up there instead of her.
Thank you. No more questions, Your Ladyship.
Something that puzzles the prosecution, and I'm sure members of the jury too, is your behaviour. After you'd witnessed this horrific, violent act.
Is that a question?
What did you do after you'd seen Mr. Stubbs being clubbed to death?
Well, I were in shock.
What did you do?
I went out into the street and saw the police and ambulance arriving and that.
And were your mother and sister Sarah in the street at that time?
You know the one?
And yet you failed to mention to either of them, or show any sign whatsoever that you had witnessed this traumatic event moments before.
Mrs. Barlow.
Yes.
Please speak up.
Yes.
Would you like to swear on the Bible?
Yes, yes.
Hold the Bible. Repeat after me. I swear by Almighty God.
I swear by Almighty God.
That the evidence I shall give.
That the evidence I shall give.
Will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but truth.
Will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Keep it very short.
Did Tracy tell you about the abuse she was suffering at Mr. Stubbs' hands?
No, she kept it to herself.
Why was that?
I don't know.
Can you think of a reason?
Well, maybe she was ashamed.
But you knew it was going on?
Well, I thought I did. I mean, yes. I pleaded with her to leave him so many times.
Why didn't Tracy take your advice?
She felt trapped. There was no room at ours, and she's stubborn. She won't be told. She gets an idea and she loved him. That's what she said, and... well, they did get on at first. He was a bully.
No more questions, Your Ladyship.
Did you ever see Charlie hit Tracy?
No.
No? Pull her hair, twist her arm?
No, but I knew it was going on.
How?
Well, she told me, and I saw the marks. I know it was him.
You're her mother. A good mother. Of course you believed her. And you wanted the best for her.
I do. I pleaded with her to leave him.
And what did she say?
Oh, she said she couldn't. I begged her to get out of there and come back home.
To your house?
She said she wouldn't.
Mrs. Barlow, you've just said there was no room at ours. You're contradicting yourself, aren't you?
Deirdre. I don't... I can't... I can't...
Your Ladyship, the witness is prone to panic attacks. Could we suggest a short adjournment?
Very short, Mr. Sinclair.
What are you doing, Ma'am?
What's happening? Is she all right?
Are you ready?
Mrs. Barlow, has your daughter always had a bad temper?
Not a bad temper as such.
She attacked Maria Sutherland in the street.
That was very out of character.
So, if she's not usually instantly angry, perhaps she's a brooder then.
What do you mean?
Someone who, for instance, would make a long-term plan for revenge.
No.
Someone who would plan a murder.
No.
You're Tracy's mother. You know her better than anyone. Are you finding it hard to stick up for her? Do you have any reason to doubt her version of events?
No. No, I haven't. She's my daughter. She wouldn't...
No further questions, Your Ladyship.
No questions.
You may stand down. Are there any more witnesses for the defense?
No, Your Ladyship.
Then I think it only fair to both parties that the jury hear counsel speeches on Monday morning when they are refreshed.
Court rise!
What was she playing at?
She did her best.
If that's her best, I'd hate to see her going half-cock.
Jane, that was terrible. Why didn't you question her again?
It was better to get her away.
She is told.
Point sugarcoating. That went about as badly as it could have done.
All right, steady on, Blanche. Yes, it didn't run as smoothly as we would have liked. But there's a lot more evidence than that, you know.
Exactly. It wasn't as planned, but I don't think it was a disaster.
No, I were expecting the judge to put a black hanky on her head.
Blanche, as if Deirdre isn't feeling bad enough already.
You still here, then?
We're waiting for you.
I don't need you now, Ma'am.
I needed you in the witness box.
I'm sorry.
You really stepped up the mark, didn't you? I mean, it's not good enough that you had a little word with my lawyer. You've stuffed my case! They think I did it. I'm going to be found guilty. I am going to rot in jail, and I'm going to miss my daughter growing up, and for what? For Charlie Stubbs, that pig. I asked you to do one thing for me, one thing. You know, if I get sent down for this, this is going to be your fault. Your fault. Thanks a lot.